Do you like spiders? And I'm not talking about those cute tiny spiders or those with which you have a cheap joke on your friends. I mean the aggressive spiders which hunt and are fast. Imagine 20 of those friends killing monsters for you in PoE. I'm Stone Cold, my real name is Patrick, I'm a PoElic and I stream on Twitch. This is the build guide to the Spidermancer 3.0. And important, don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe and hit the bell button so that you always get a notification if a new video is published on this channel. This is the Spidermancer 3.0. It is built around the Arakali's Fang dagger, which is not directly available at league start, but you know, after a few hours it will drop for some players. Also some players chance it or get it in some other ways, and this dagger will give us the skill Raise Spiders. Raise Spiders can be triggered by killing, so how do we do that? We cast Desecrate, then we cast Orb of Storms, and then we pop the Flask. This will kill the worms that pop out of Writhing Jar, and we'll raise the spiders. So we have to have corpses so they can be raised. Yeah, the gems in the dagger are melee physical damage, multi-strike, and minion damage. Those support the Raise a Spider skill, so this is the best damage setup. You can use melee splash for better clear, but it's not really important since I skilled Fearsome Force, and I feel like it really doesn't need melee splash for clearing. So as the second dagger we will use United in Dream. United in Dream is the upgrade of Severt in Sleep. Severt in Sleep is a Shayula drop, so new players will probably not conquer Shayula, or at least not directly, but they definitely will be able to buy it pretty early in the league. Severt in Sleep can be upgraded to United in Dream by using a Blessing of Shayula. This dagger is very good just because it grants us between 30 to 40 minion increased damage. So as you can see, minions deal 38% increased damage is what I use now. By the way, this gear is obviously not optimized. It's just what I got now. I'm level 92. I pretty much cleared... I'm at 134 of 164 bonus objectives. So I pretty much cleared anything I could until this point. And I'm 100% sure you will be able to also conquer Sirius with it. I'm not so sure about the Maven yet because I simply did not spawn it yet. It is doable, but you will need to stay alive. But a little more about this a little later. So as a helmet we will use the Devouring Diadem, which will give us a reduced mana reservation, and we will socket our auras in it. As auras we use Flesh and Stone, Generosity, Dread Banner, and Malevolence. As a chest, we will use Venomous Shroud. Venomous Shroud has the nice effect that it buffs spiderwebs. To get spiderwebs, you will need the aura or the aspect, level 20 aspect of the spider. This can be obtained in several ways, which will be described in the forums. As gem setup, we don't need a 6-link. That's great. So even another thing that we can save our currency on. So we got Desecrate and Spell Cascade, so there are more corpses around when we cast Desecrate. Then we got a Falling setup, Hex Touch, Vulnerability, Orb of Storms, and Increased Area of Effect. As an amulet, we will use City Breath. We will anoint Ravenous Horde using 2 opalescent oils and a verdant oil. Optimally, you will want to get 2 vermilion rings, so you can increase the life. As you can see, I don't really have much life on anything here, and yeah, I might die from time to time. Also, that's because I run rare corrupted maps, like tier 16 rare corrupted, and don't care about any mod. So even your players will be able to finish that. Maybe not deathless, but they definitely can do all content with it. What do we got here? On the boots, later we will want, I want better boots, but later we want cannot be frozen craft on it. Right now I'm using as flasks a life flask. I'm gonna put it here so you can see it better. A life flask, which gives me bleeding immunity, and very important is the mod 100% increased recovery when on low life. So if you get a huge hit and your life reaches a low value, I think it's like 25% or 20%. If you pop that flask, then it will completely heal up your life again. Rumi's Concussion gives us block chance for spells and attack damage. This is very important, especially and armor. This is very important because while you will stand next to it and don't try to stand directly in the fight, there can be 1 or 2 enemies that come close to you and attack you, and this will help you to stay alive. So here we got a Quicksilver, currently with the immunity to freeze mod, as I said. And 1 cannot be frozen at some point at some better boots. Later we will use anti-ignite on it. Then we got a Basalt Flask for even more physical damage reduction. Also we got Curse Immunity on it, and the Writhing Jar Flask to spawn the spiders. As a Spectre setup we will use Minion Life, Razor Spectre, Elemental Army, and Feeding Frenzy. We use Host Chieftains and Carnage Chieftains, which can be obtained in Act 7 Ashen Fields and Act 2 Old Fields. Yeah, we use Razor Zombie, Fortify, Carrying Golem, and Whirling Blades. That's probably the only con about this build. With Whirling Blades you cannot get through those barricades here, so I will always need to run around some things. But still, I highly recommend you use Whirling Blades. It's one of the better skills in boss fights to stay alive. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. Let's see, Razor Spiders. You cannot see any of the real mods there. Even those are not very precise. I recommend you check the damage damage calculation in Path of Building. So I hope this will help. You can check out some footage of how it works out later in this video. Yeah, and this is the Spidermancer 3.0.
When I'm ready, and not before.
So this is the Spidermancer 3.0. Let's have a quick look at the path of building. I've made up some leveling trees, which I will go into a bit further in a second. Yeah, let's check 1 to 60. So at first it's important that you go for the life, take the mini duration, take the life. You don't need to take the aura nodes at the beginning. Let's first go for damage and for more life. Then you would go for the skill effect duration, which is very important before you switch to the Arakalis, that the spiders last for a bit longer. As the lab, you will first take Mindless Aggression, then Commander of Darkness. I also made up some equipment for early leveling. It's totally up to you. You can completely exchange those. These are just some examples that you can use. Oh, I chose the City Breath actually. Good that I saw that now. Yeah, then you can switch to Arakalis, 60 to 90. And I chose 60 because at that point you can use the Writhing Jar Flask. If you cannot use the Writhing Jar Flask, you can still switch to the dagger from 53 onwards, but it will not always cast the spiders, and you have no possibility to directly cast them except you kill monsters yourself. But being a necromancer, your minions are supposed to do that. Once you switch to the Arakalis with level 60, you can choose some of the cluster jewel points here and just progress. On Merklab you will use Mistress of Sacrifice next, and on Uberlab you will take Bone Barrier, which will help you survive. So for the gear, again, you can choose different setups here. Just use whatever you want. Except for the cluster jewels, I highly recommend to keep those as they are. Like, you will later want Renewal, Call to the Slaughter, Rotten Claws on one, and Rotten Claws, Feasting Fiends, and Call to the Slaughter on the other one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a tankier version of it. If you want to, you can choose the tankier version. This will mean a little less damage. Let's choose the spiders here quick. This will mean a little less damage because you will not be able to use the aspect of the spider anymore. There you have it. That's all, by the way, in Sand Stance. If we go to Blood Stance, you will see that the damage is still pretty high. Still about 5.6 million Shaper DPS, but you're a lot tankier with the crab barriers. But it's also very expensive because you will need to get the colors on it. And the colors, this needs to be done using the Jeweler's method. So back to the endgame tree. I'm pretty happy with what I got here in Blood Stance. As you can see, with the aspect of the spider skill, which we will enable, we get to like 6.8 million Shaper DPS. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good build for beginners, especially for those who struggle with endgame content like tier 10 to tier 16 maps. I usually run corrupted maps and had no problems at all. I die from time to time. That's due to the low life I've got. You can easily reach over 5k life. This gear is still not perfect, by the way, so it's just up to you how far you want to get it. And yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope we see us, or I hope you see me live on Twitch. Have a good day and see you next time.